Hi, good afternoon. I'm just having a sort through the garage and I've come across this. I made this a year or two ago for cutting slabs. The old traditional angle grinder's fine. We'll show you one of those. I'm sure you know what it looks like. Cue the angle grinder. Got diamond cutting blade in there. Really well. Don't need water on this one, it cuts dry. But it really does slice through the limestone I was cutting. This kind of stuff. So rainbow limestone. Fairly hard wearing that is, but the blade on this, the limestone's got no chance. So as I say, that was a little jig I made up. Let's get it back into shot for you if we can. We'll have a little look at it. Basically you've got a sole plate there, a little bit of tubular steel, box section, a couple of pieces to support the angle grinder, and an adjuster. I can't cut through the slab in one piece, or one cut I should say. I've got to make several passes, so you simply just wind that up a bit, you give you a few extra mil depth on the limestone. I've got a straight edge there to rest against as the device pushes down the limestone. I'll get the angle grinder on there and you can see just see how it does actually mount on there and how it works. Okay, that's the angle grinder mounted on the stand. As you can see, there's the saw blade, the adjustment handle. As I turn that, I can increase the depth of the cut. So on something like this, it's about 25 mil thick I believe. I would have to make about 6 passes, but hey, you know, I can cut it at home. I haven't got to get somebody in to do it, and I can utilise a tool I already had. You can do it freehand, but the problem I was getting, I can't keep a 90-degree angle on here, and these slabs have to pair together fairly closely, and if you've got to cut one way or the other way, you're going to have gaps. So with this, it did work very effectively, I must be honest. So yeah, for a little bit of steel lying around the workshop, and probably an hour or so, maybe a little bit longer to put it together. I put a plate here, a little bit of angle, so I can help push the angle grinder through the limestone, which did help. That was handy. I've got a right angle plate on the back here. That's where I mount a straight edge onto the stone, so I'd have to press this plate against the straight edge. So I've got a nice straight cut. Obviously I'd move the straight piece on the back, the guide, to suit the angle of cut I needed on the stone, although of course this would be 90 degrees all the time. It's fairly accurate. I did a whole patio with it and I was very happy with the results, almost surprised how well it came out just for a little chunky bit of steel. It's custom made to this angle grinder, so should this angle grinder decide to meet its maker, I would have to start again really. Let's just get this undone. We'll see if we can have a little bit of a closer look at it. There's nothing clever about it really, and the welding's not startling. This is the old MIG welder I was using, but that's just a straight bit of plate that I had lying around in the garage. As I said earlier in the video, bit of box section, a couple of pieces here to support the angle grinder. They were made to suit my particular angle grinder, so unless you've got exactly the same model as me, you'll have to adapt it slightly. There's nothing that is supposed to be going off at an angle just to marry up with the angle grinder. So move that round again. What I did find, metal on top of the limestone, it was scratching scratching the limestone. So let's just turn that over a little bit more. You can see there's a perspex sheet I've put on here, so that minimises the scratching on the limestone. So yeah, all in all, for metal I already had in the workshop and an hour and a half's time, that produced quite a useful tool. Like I said, I did the whole patio with it. I was very happy with the end results. So yeah, you could go and buy the proper tool, or you can go and rent one, but do it yourself if you can. You know, Mike made this one, why don't you make your own? Certainly worked for me. Anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you wish, thumbs up would be great.